ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Hello and welcome back to the ESL Pro League match day number 18. I've just had a donut. I'm feeling good. I think OpTic's going to be feeling good as well after that one. And moving on to Mirage. Admittedly, not a map that they've been playing too much lately, but the form that they're looking like they're in, it might just be enough to roll over Misfits in this map as well.
Hopefully Misfits have a donut as well, because they need to lift up their performance. They need some kind of motivation. They got to fire up as well to counter off OpTic, and maybe filling up their stomachs will be the key. I wish I had a donut now, thinking about it.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I
now
shouldn't
I'm fixated on the donut.
I shouldn't have mentioned it at all, should I? But look, to be honest, maybe Misfits do really need to step up here, because if we have a look at how the first map went for them, it was 16-3 in the favor of OpTic, so they really didn't stand up to OpTic at all, and I guess it's sort of a similar situation over on the mainstream as well for Renegades, going down 16-8 to SK on Mirage. Difficult times ahead for Renegades in the second map of Train as well, because we know SK, a very, very good team on that map. So that's looking dangerous. I think it's a 2-0 on the mainstream for me. And right now I'm thinking it may even be a 2-0 here on our stream too. OpTic Gaming just poised really to continue that form, continue that momentum through to map number 2 here on Mirage, and really just stomp all over OpTic Gaming, over Misfits. They don't want to stomp over themselves.
Oh, they have to severely outplay themselves to take them.
Throw some grenades up in the air and land them.
Well, we saw Naf did shoot Mixwell in the back, so it can happen where it's, you know, top anime betrayal, but regardless, OpTic in much better form, so looking to carry over. Mixwell had an insane game. I think, well, I was talking in the back with the Observer, and he was just going, there was a round where Mixwell, and I spotted it, he just came flying out, lands, and gets a kill, jumps across into HP and gets another kill. And if Mixwell can continue that form, that confidence of Mirage, where we know the AWP is such a crucial weapon, could be scary times for Misfits.
Definitely a very, very strong AWP map. I mean, you can play both sides, you can play mid. You basically have so many options with the AWP, and wouldn't be hugely surprising to see a double AWP coming out here, maybe from either team, to be honest, just because of how powerful that weapon is. But we're going to have to find out how it is going to go. Wonder who's going to be starting on the CT side, though. I suspect it may not make too much of a difference. Feels they were in for a little bit more of a close match than what we were on Cobblestone. I don't think OpTic Gaming really rolls over Misfits on this one, but I still think OpTic, if they can continue that form through from the last one, are going to have enough to deal with Misfits.
It's all going to boil down to mid-control for Misfits, and with the lack of rifle presence so far that we've, well, admittingly haven't seen so much from their T side, hopefully they have 15 rounds to show what they've got on the attacking side, which is going to be either positive or negative signs, as Jason R is going to be the only man up here, and he's going to be taken down immediately by Relics. Good opening from Misfits this time around. They should be able to take control of the B site. Now the retake has to go forward as Relics gets another kill, this time at the Tarek, and OpTic already down 2 members. It's going to make their job exponentially more difficult. Yeah,
I like what the Misfits have done there. They've got that smoke into the B site. They can plan easily. It's a very, very, obviously a well-practiced sort of an execute. They know what they had to do, get those kills, and it's really worked out very nicely for them once again. It just seems like that first pistol round, or at least their T pistol rounds, are very, very good. So we've seen that first one go the way of Misfits. Actually, they did pick up the CT pistol round last map. So what am I talking about? But the first pistol round of the map, I don't know, something about it. It seems to work for Misfits, and they do get their full clean ace once out once more. OpTic, well, they're going to buy into this one, which is not too surprising. Mixwell, not much on him, though, given he'll want to try and take the AWP in the next round or so, if he can.
Yeah, and OpTic with 2 Desert Eagles. Still not an easy round for Misfits. Normally we'd say, all right, win the pistol round, they'll be able to roll forward their advantage, but so many times we saw in the previous round in Cobble, unable to roll their advantage forward. And it may just continue. They have to play disciplined, play smart, and play on the back of each other. Rush is just playing close towards the smoke. Molotov's being flung, as well as short control now attempted to be gained from Misfits. And there's the first kill in Rush's hands. He's flying up the ladder. Might be able to pick up another, so a 2-for-1 trade.
Really nice movement from Rush. Just making life so difficult for Misfits there. And 2-for-1, very, very good overall for OpTic. The unfortunate situation, at least for OpTic, is that they cannot retrieve either of those guns right now. They need to rely on the pistols. The rotation comes across relatively quickly, actually, for OpTic. But the kills are coming in for Misfits, and that's the key thing. 2 players left alive. It's still a doable situation now for Misfits, and that will help just Naf on his own.
Yeah, he's only got the CZ as well. Does have armor to back it up. If he can find himself a great position and isolate it towards 2 1-on-1s, maybe, just maybe, he can win it. But he has to isolate it towards 2 1-on-1s. He won't be able to do that. Relics, once again, 3 kills. It looked a little bit tighter, but they do take the round victory, and that's a lot better than dropping the anti-eco.
Definitely. They also take both the AKs through here, so the economic situation, it isn't going to be hurt quite as much for Misfits as it could have been. We do see just an investment in a couple of Mac 10s and a UMP as well for Misfits. So they want to get the maximum cash out of this round. They want to make this one clean and don't drop that many guns to OpTic. And of course, OpTic have decided just a full eco here, 1 P250 on Rush, but aside from that, it's just USP. So should be a reality here for Misfits to be able to take at least 4 out of the 5 guns here through to the next round. But if they can take basically the UMP and the 2 AKs, I think that's going to be enough.
And Sean just will be able to take 2 for himself, but with the combined power of the USPs, eventually Mixwell will be able to get the pick on towards Sean. But this is not going to change matters too much. Shazam taking a huge amount of damage through the wall from the USP.
Oh, massive.
Absolutely devastating. He's now on 88.
Yep.
Through a dink.
Bombs down, though, for Misfits. Utilities coming out from them just to slow things down for OpTic. But OpTic, they don't need slowing down. They've already decided there must be a red light in the connector, and they don't want to drive through it.
Just waiting.
Here for exit frags, perhaps. They're not going to get a retake in this time, though. So
maybe get a few more kills. You know, try to tempt them in towards their guns, get a few more kills, start.
Yeah, that's just Relics getting rid of his Mac 10, though.
It still gives 300 over towards OpTic.
Yeah.
And it forces him to repurchase up armor. And it may not seem like a lot.
No.
You get to repurchase armor when you lose your life. That damage can stack up eventually, so.
That's true. Misfits, though, it's not going to affect them in this round. OpTic deciding they don't want the Mac 10, so they've gone for the full rifle setup. Decent amount of utilities actually coming out for what it is. Not really too much head armor, but there is only a single UMP on Misfits, so shouldn't be affecting them too much. And now with the guns in the hands here for OpTic Gaming, this is where we need to see them really just turn things around and start to play like they did on Cobblestone and make life so difficult for Misfits.
Yeah, and AWP in the hands of Mixwell, but fast Under's presence coming in through from Misfits. Mixwell will try to make a chance shot towards Catwalk, but he knows that there is the presence of danger right underneath him, so he will back off. Otherwise, Misfits just slowly trying to take mid-control. The bomb is angled towards A side, and Tarek, I'm not sure if that was a miss smoke. I think it is, because that would be a very odd one-way smoke if I don't think it was intended.
Doesn't seem as though it's going to affect things too much just yet. Misfits, though, are headed over in the direction of the B site. But nothing too committed right now from them. And a fairly standard setup, really, from OpTic. One mid, just watching. Well, he's not even really watching mid. He's watching short from the window room. OpTic, 2 out in CT. So that's not really your standard A-hold. I suppose you might have one a little bit further forward, or you might have one in jungle or stairs or something like that. But both of them in CT. Anyway, it's not going to make too much of a difference because Misfits are headed over to the B bomb site. The only thing maybe it's going to affect is the rotation time for OpTic, which is not going to be too long since they've got 2 players that far back in CT. We need these B players to do some work, though, and they have done that. Tarek finding 2. Rush did assist, but he goes down. So overall, a 2-for-1 trade at this point. Now 2 for 2 as Shazam picks that one up, and the bomb will be surely planted by Misfits right now. Shazam, he's the key player. If he can get 1, that's going to be huge, and he does. And now maybe OpTic will have trouble retaking this site, though Jason R maybe has other ideas.
Yeah, sick though on the side, able to get 1 and gets 2. Mixwell, no impact of the AWP whatsoever. And Misfits, 4-0, looking a lot better. The aim is starting to click on point. Twist has not died. He's not gotten a kill or an assist. Which is kind of like, all right, you're kind of doing your job, but you're not dying, you're not killing anyone. Not sure if that's a mistaken stat, but Relic's leading the charge.
Yep.
8 kills already, and now with the Mac 10 looking to add more money to the bank as OpTic will be back on the pistols.
Yep, another eco round now for OpTic, and they are falling into the same sort of trap that Misfits were in the last half, where their money was just not good. They kept losing rounds, and well, Misfits have started off nicely, certainly much better than they did on Cobblestone. But they need to be able to continue this through. You feel as though if OpTic get a bit of a sniff in here, if they get some rounds on the board, that's when Misfits are going to be starting to struggle a little bit more. But so far, it seems to be fairly easy going for Misfits. Like, they're getting everything that they want. They're not losing too many guns, with the exception of that pistol armor buy that OpTic had in round number 2. Aside from that, Misfits have really just looked like this has been a walk in the park.
Yeah, and Shazam will get the first pick on towards Mixwell at mid with the AWP. So Misfits just slowly scouting for information and trying to get the picks before rolling together towards a bomb site. OpTic with only pistols have to play aggressively, have to try to chance. And that's what Misfits want them to do. They want them to go, hey, push this light angle. We dare you to.
Doesn't seem as though OpTic's going to be pushing too much just yet. They have some control of mid, but they're only a player. Does go down to Sean. And now Misfits are going to be able to get that bomb down very, very easily, one would expect. OpTic not too keen on contesting it just yet. Tarek needed to win that duel if they would have any chance, but even if he did, he would have only been able to pick up a MAC-10, so what kind of use is that really for OpTic here? 2 players left alive. Probably just going to go and see if they can get a little bit of damage out. If they can take an AK or the AWP through, then that would be perfect. But really, you'd have to think Misfits only going to be sending the MAC-10 players in there. And indeed, that's the case. Relix and Sean finding 2 kills apiece with the MAC-10s. So, bit of extra cash flow for Misfits. And now OpTic, they've defaulted back to that double AWP. No surprises, really. We did sort of speak about it before the match started, that it is a map that is very, very centric around the AWP, and a double AWP would not be a huge surprise at all. There we have it, early on in the piece for OpTic, but admittedly they have lost 5 in a row, so it is about time for them to try something a little bit bold, see how this works out.
Well, Mixwell's going to take the AWP towards CD Connector. Should be mollied off, not taking any damage because it's fallen a little bit short. And Tarek is going to take the AWP towards B-Apps, and that just locks down a line. Misfits, well done by them to recognize that there is a threat of the double AWP, and so they're going to go for the A-side execute. Early flashbangs to draw off early Molotovs, but actually Sean just leading the charge, might be able to get a kill. Jason, oh, what are you doing? You got to look towards the opponent, and Naf is going to just get torched alive in the end. Twist will shut him down with the AK-47 bullet. Small gap in the smoke for Mixella to work with, but the numbers advantage back in Misfits' favor.
Yeah, bomb still being safely planted there by Relix, and good execute coming out there from Misfits. I guess maybe a stroke of luck that Jason R wasn't looking in the correct direction, and there was a free kill coming out for Sean, but overall still pretty nicely played there by Misfits. That Molotov may force Relix out of position, and yes, it will. Tarek gets the kill, but still 3 players to deal with here for OpTic Gaming, and the timer has been ticking away for quite a while now. They need to move quickly, and they've got double AWP on the retake. It's not ideal.
But they're making it work. Mixwell and Rush both picking up 1 apiece, and now Rush sticking the defuse, and Twist has outplayed himself just a little bit.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough for him in a 1 versus 3. So OpTic, a very, very nice execute on the retake, actually, from them. And Misfits, I think they'd be a little bit disappointed with how that round did turn out, because they had it made, really. They had the bomb down, they had the player advantage. They had the post-plant positions, they just weren't able to get the job done in the end. And it really was that pick from Tarek when the Molotov came into the firebox that really opened things up for OpTic on the retake.
It was a good retake coming out from OpTic. Just working together as a unit, flashbangs to make sure that they can clear common lines together, and just slowly taking the site. But they've got to back it up. Misfits have a lot of money to just keep trying to ram OpTic into submission. OpTic, they have to keep this double AWP setup alive, because with the Tarek AWP setup, he can just push up and go, all right, this line is completely safe at BF, so this allows a short player on Rush to push up more aggressively forward.
Yep. Does open up a lot of options for OpTic if he can keep it alive, and he does take down Sean. He spots the bomb out there as well. He knows that Mixwell is hanging around. He's going to put out a pop flash. It shouldn't be too effective at all, but he's just wasting Shazam's time right now, giving his teammates enough time to rotate across, and actually hits the shot as well. Great stuff there in OpTic Gaming. It looks like they are going to be able to put 2 rounds on the board in a row, and that's so, so important for them, because if they had have dropped that last one, a reset comes across, Misfits suddenly 6, probably 7 or 8 rounds coming out from them on the T side, and things start to spiral out of control. But 5, it's nothing to get too worried about right now for OpTic, especially considering they have got the double AWP setup working, and they should be able to continue to take it through to the next round, though. Mixwell, he does die over on the A-bomb site, and that AWP is not going to be retrievable, actually, for OpTic Gaming. They will have to rebuy it, and oh, do they have the cash for it? I guess Rush can afford it.
He will do it.
Yeah, it looks like they have gone for it. So, double AWP for OpTic, it is a little bit more expensive than they would have liked if they had just been able to save the AWPs through, but in the end, they still have the money for it, and if they can make it work in this round, no harm done.
And it's working out quite well. Mixwell's now starting to get the picks, and Tarek just... Unfortunate from Shazam, he was able to get the damage, but he just got it through the edge of the wall, and that does reduce the instant shot kill, and Tarek didn't miss his. Now this is a critical round because Misfits, this is the last of their bank account. Similarly, OpTic, they've drained their finances as well, and unfortunately you can't go to the bank and ask for more money from either side, so they have to make do with what they've got.
Yeah, they can't get a loan. Credit rating is too poor. OpTic feeling pretty good about this, though. They've won 2 in a row, so maybe they can start to get a little bit more of a flow into that bank account. They need to make sure that they can take a lot of guns through, because we know how volatile that CT economy can be, particularly when you have a double AWP set up on the field. And you don't want to be rebuying those AWPs. That's the main thing. If they can take 2 AWPs, then sweet. But if they lose them again and again and again, then eventually they are going to be running out of money. So it's a pretty crucial round coming out here still. Like, neither team are going to be having much of an advantage in terms of the economic situation right now, but this round may dictate that.
Well, Tarek's just got the B apps line under lockdown once again, so even if Relics does challenge it, well, he has to pull off an amazing AK shot, and he's just shoulder peeking it. There's a Molotov to try to force Tarek off. It will work quite well. It does a lot of damage as well. And Misfits now crawling closer towards short. If Naf peeks, he may be able to find the timing, but with 23 seconds left on the timer, Misfits got to make a move. They boosted one up towards window. Mixwell rotating the long way around.
He heard that.
And Naf, he has to get it, but no, Shazam, what a great opening pick. And Jason R is going to be taken out immediately by Twist, and they know Mixwell is at CT. But he gets one.
He can't. Oh, well, I thought Rush denied the plant there, which would have been absolutely massive for him. But now 2 versus 2. This is still doable for OpTic, and Misfits kind of backed themselves into the corner there by going for such a late take on the site, but they've made it work. Now they just need to consolidate on and convert it into a round win, though Sick does go down to Tarek.
Yeah, and Shazam, oh no, he misses the flick, and they know where he is now. So even though the bomb plan is good for him, Tarek, well, not sure why he's throwing the flashbang in the middle of the open. It does force Rush into a very awkward predicament, and he's calling across, and Shazam knows that he's off the bomb. Rush is going to tap once more time, but time is ticking away. Shazam's played this perfectly, and he misses the shot, but that's all right. There's no time for Rush to work with.
Yep, Rush is just caught in the middle of 2 minds right now. Does he run? Does he tap the bomb? Does he fight the T player? In the end, nothing goes right for him, and Misfits, they do secure that reset. In terms of the economy, OpTic, though, they have a little bit of money to play with. We'll see what they decide to do with this. Definitely not going to be a double AWP coming out from them, but they are going to force into the round. Jason R does buy the AWP, and he's actually going to be taking it by the looks of things.
Might have had a better spawn, so it's going to be heavy mid-aggression from OpTic Gaming on the back of these pistols, and you can see the 5-7 already making noise. Jason R just standing, just taking 1 ticket damage from the Molotov. Tarek just sitting in the smoke, and what a shot from Jason R through the edge. We'll take down Sick. You can see, oh, that's his teammate. Don't shoot your own teammate, but Tarek will get the pick on towards Sean regardless, and Tarek will get out scot-free. Not really scot-free. He does take a friendly AWP bullet in his leg.
45 damage, not too friendly, but
friendly fire isn't.
Regardless, player advantage now for OpTic, and they may be able to answer back straight away in this sort of a force buy round. They weren't able to do it with the double AWP and the full rifles and the full utilities, but this time they're just making things work. And Misfits, this is the kind of round that they really don't want to be dropping. You know, that's the round where, look, now you have the real chance to just tighten those screws, but they haven't been able to do that. Their screwdriver's broken.
Don't think they expected Jason R with the AWP. That's for sure. Has well, Relics will be slowly crawling towards here to connector. Might be able to find the line towards Naf if he peeks at the wrong timing, and if he makes his way towards jungle, could create pressure on towards Jason R as well. Naf just dancing around, trying to find the off angle for any Misfits player who want to come through A. And there's Twist with a single flashbang. It does allow Relics to push through towards jungle. Jason R worried this threat.
Smoke does come down from Relics, and easy kill onto Jason R in the end. He wasn't really picking the correct line. Now Twist has a good chance to open things up, but he will go down. So overall, OpTic, it looks like they are going to be holding on to this round. It could have gone either way there if a couple of those kills had have gone the way of Misfits. But in the end, they are OpTic's. And the double AWP secured again through to the next round here for OpTic. So that's a bit of a bonus.
Big turnaround because now Misfits are on the eco.
Yeah, and a chance for OpTic to come back into this and kind of salvage the half. Admittedly, at this point, it's still not really a good scoreline for them, particularly if Misfits get, say, 2 more rounds. But if they can close out this half, which is, it's going to be difficult, right? 6 in a row, it's not the easiest of tasks, but they could close it out 9-6. That's a respectable first half score for the CT side.
Considering at one stage you're at Misfits 5-0, where Misfits are looking quite dominating, OpTic did quite well, especially on the force buy, where if Misfits shut it down, OpTic would have been forced into another eco round. We could be seeing an 8-2 scoreline potentially, but doing well from Jason R. And now Misfits on the eco themselves, the first time in quite a while.
OpTic really want to go through from this round without losing too much.
They need to keep this double up.
Their money is still not really that great. But if they can get through here with 4 or 5 guns alive, then they really will start to catapult themselves into the late stages of this first half. Misfits, though, going for something a bit cheeky, popping themselves up into the window room. Rush hasn't spotted it out either.
Well, Jason R has spotted out one member to a city connector, and now Shazam will eventually land the Deagle headshot. And they will slowly start coming out to a city connector, but an open plan is going to be punished by Rush from the short area, and Deagle's being flung at his direction, but Twist will just try to dance around. Just a one-on-one midnight session, but Tarek decides to interrupt, and Tarek will also pick up the second kill towards 6 kills lurking towards B apps, and Misfits will be able to purchase early in this round. They may decide to force, but it won't be the best force. Might want to go just for the armor and pistol, but nope. Spoke too soon.
No, look, it's not too bad. There's a lot of utilities there on Shazam. 6 got a decent amount. Sean's got a decent amount.
But look at Twist and Relics.
Yeah, they don't have too much, but it's enough here for an execute. Well, actually, maybe I lie. There's only 2 smokes. If maybe someone else could have afforded a smoke, though, Sean, he opted to go for the Molotov instead. Twist does go down, so that's not a good start. In this kind of a buy with the Misfits, you really need to be getting that first pick and trying to make use of that. But this may be the round over for Misfits already.
Yeah, Naf, I thought he spotted out one member, but Shazam, sharp shot towards Mixwell to at least take down one of the AWPers on the side of OpTic, but still 3-2, and Relics will be able to get the bomb plant down. He's down towards 11 HP though, and that grenade brings him just a little bit closer towards the grave. Shazam will Molotov off, and Relics will duck away, but he's now stuck in the open, trapped between multiple lines.
It's not a fun place to be, that's for sure. And he actually is going to make a good... What?
He gets 2!
How does that happen? I don't know. Tarek and Naf must have just completely potatoed that, but in the end, Relics, he'll be happy with it. And now Rush, he's got a big job to do. This Molotov could be crucial. If it gets 1 tick onto Relics, it's going to be enough. At least forces him out of position. And now Shazam under pressure, but he answers it well. And Misfits, from nowhere, they find a round.
Beautiful stuff from Relics. Has really stepped it up on Mirage overall, and this will drop OpTic down once again. Mixwell will have enough money for AWP, but it is a mix buy, and all of a sudden, Misfits, they lost the first few members, and then OpTic dropped the ball. It really has allowed Misfits back in towards this half.
Definitely. And this buy from OpTic, they're relying heavily on Mixwell to get some picks here with the AWP in mid. I suppose the rifles as well are going to have a big job to do, Rush and Naf, but yeah, it's not an excellent buy really from OpTic. At least they have some utility as well to slow things down for Misfits. And admittedly, Misfits don't have the perfect buy themselves, but I always feel as though like a force buy, it works out a lot better on the T side, right? Because if you have 1 or 2 rifles and the first rifler goes down, you can pick that up. But if you have 1 or 2 rifles on the CT side and your riflers go down, you don't have as easy of a time being able to trade those rifles around and keep continuing to use them on the rest of your team. Jason, though, in a good spot. Apparently not so good as Relics does check it. Takes him down quite easily. And there you go. That's the problem really for OpTic here, is that now that they've lost the A-bomb site, what do they have to retake? An AWP and a rifle? Yes, but they're going up against 5 players.
Yeah, and Mixwell just backs off, and Tarek loses his life. Oh no, Rush loses his life with the M4 as well. Tarek wants to try to reclaim it, but pushing through jungle, or pushing through murder hole, is such a dangerous prospect. He's going to go for it, maybe. Nope, he's just going to wait it out. Misfits 8-4. They're looking to try to win the half, at least even in double digits. That's definitely doable, because OpTic will be forced onto another eco in the next round.
Yeah, this is not looking so great for OpTic. I think maybe there's a reason that they don't play much Mirage. Tarek, he had an opportunity there to take one down, but does not manage to do it. So Mixwell, the only survivor really for OpTic with that AWP. At least they are able to take a gun through, but
have to go pretty big with that weapon.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something pretty big here. I don't know, maybe he can just like push down mid, have a peek into second apps, I don't know, push A main or Palace or something. You know, I think he has to push something and try and make
mid spawn.
Yeah, make a pick.
He has to try to jump up towards short. No, it's going to be smoked off immediately, and Misfits not even vaguely fascinated with the idea of contesting. They just go, let's just throw smokes, just draw OpTic's attention away, and then we'll just stack up for an attack on towards a different side.
Shazam just looking into the B-bomb site. At the moment, if Misfits were to push out of apartments, they would have really no one contesting them. Although we do see Rush starting to transfer back over to the B site, but he's completely smoked off. And, well, Mixwell, this is where he has to go big. He spots out one player, not able to connect any shots yet. He hasn't fired any. Hasn't given away his position just yet, but Misfits, they get the bomb down, and I think that's too little too late right now for OpTic Gaming. And this is really starting to become a massive problem for them. Misfits are really starting to put the tear on at the moment on the T side.
They're still able to retrieve a single AK-47, but Mixwell looking towards B-Apps, not realizing there is a threat that's much closer towards him. That's going to be Relics. As there's the first flashbang, Mixwell will back up, try to save the AWP and Tarek. Oh, if he lands this is going to be a spicy shot. There's a chase on towards Mixwell, but Tarek just pulled out the USP and unfortunately pays the price. Tries to buy time for old mate Mixwell. And Mixwell is going to try and still trying to sprint and stay alive, but he's got so much work to do.
He's played it well. Looks like he's going to survive there. Rush will back him up, and so OpTic, they do take 2 guns through to this round, which will allow them to actually get a fairly decent buy here, but they've already let so many rounds go over to Misfits on the T side. Like 9, how do you come back from that on your own T side? It's going to have to be something pretty special from OpTic, and this first half isn't even over just yet. Misfits, if they win this one, they could go to 11. If they lose this, they should still be able to buy in the next round, I think. I didn't have a good look at their economy at the start of this round, but yeah, they'll be able to buy next round, so it's really tough right now for OpTic.
Have a lot of work to do on the back of the single AWP on Mixwell. OpTic do use a lot of their numbers just to gain mid control very early on before they peter back towards the A and B side, but I would argue that the A side has been the weakness so far. Jason R and Naf really need to step up their game. Holding that crucial A site means you have to be higher up in the scoreboards. The fact that they're sitting on both 3 and 5 kills apiece is really just testimony to the fact on how well Misfits have been executing and punishing the CT Hold'em. Shazam just coming straight forward, takes out Mixwell, and Tarek and Rush though coming forward, gets a 2 for 2, and Naf nearly cakes it, but will be able to eventually take down the AWP player, and Twist has been spotted out, makes his way underneath balcony.
Yeah, very nice crossfire, though, from OpTic in mid there. You could just tell with them sort of lurking around. As soon as Shazam got that shot, they were going to peek out, trade him out, and then the trades worked very, very well for Misfits. They got the 2 for 3 overall. Sorry, for OpTic, the 2 for 3 overall. Favourable for OpTic. And so now Relics finds himself in a 1-on-2. It's definitely still a winnable situation here. And if he can even just get a little bit more damage to the economy here, if he can take one of these guns out of the hands of the CTs, then it's still a decent position for Misfits going into next round.
Not even just taking a weapon, he's looking to win this right now. He's been absolutely on fire on Mirage so far. I believe he is the leading score fragger alongside with Shazam on the side of Misfits.
Oh, he's leading Shazam by 4, so
it's been Relics and Shazam who've been putting in the work, and Relics now with 7 seconds at least will have a safe plant, but still has to isolate these two 1-on-1s, and OpTic, if they let the ball drop for this one, it may spell disaster.
Oh, looks like he's going to go for the repeat there, but he was spotted out, and so has to fall back a bit here, and having lost that much HP before the clutch has to come out, now he has to pretty much play this one perfectly. The Molotov is basically going to deny him everything, and that shuts him down. So Jason, easy kill for him in the end, easy retake for OpTic too. And so they do get 5 on the CT side, but now Misfits one more round away from the second half, and they would love to close this one out with 10. And even 9 is good, but 10 is better.
Yeah, and for OpTic as well, 6 is not too bad. I mean, you'd want a better score base on your CT side, but you can still springboard back into the game. It's not over. You win the pistol, take the 2 anti-ecos, 9-all. Effectively an equal game, and if you have a good performing T side, you're able to target the weak points on Misfits, because so far it's really been the Relics and Shazam show up against, let's say, maybe the Mixwell show as well as the Rush show have been doing quite well on the side of OpTic.
Yeah. Still, maybe a bit of a story to tell here in the second half. I think the first half, it's definitely securely favouring Misfits, but who knows what can happen in the second half. Maybe OpTic, when they do get onto their T side, which is a side we saw them really putting Misfits under a lot of pressure on Cobblestone, maybe they do have something for us here. But I guess that's a story for maybe about 2 or 3 minutes' time. We still have to play out the rest of this half. 1 minute left in it, or just over a minute left in it. And Misfits have got control of mid. So they've got a lot of options now.
Yeah, Mixwell is just instantly smoked out, decides to back off towards B site, and he's actually watching B apps instead. This may be the correct read because Misfits are angling their forces towards the B site. It looks like he's just watching Murder Hole, making sure that no one can come through, and Tarek, it's going to be smoked off. The rest of Misfits, they can still rotate back towards the A site. Look at the jungle presence that's coming forward. 2 through jungle, 1 through city connector. A lot of pressure going to be placed on Jason R and Naf. As Misfits scour the wits, make sure they got all the members. Good Molotov, but there's only 1 member there. And Jason R, Naf actually falling. Jason R has to do a lot of work. He does have Mixwell support, but Shazam has just been on fire with the AWP.
Yep.
Nearly gets a flick on towards Jason R as well. Tarek will find a pick on towards Relics, and now down to a 2-on-3.
2-on-3, but now maybe a 1-on-3 because Shazam, again, hitting another shot with that AWP. As soon as he sees a player, they do go down, and Jason well, he's got a big job to do here, but I think it's probably going to be maybe a little bit too big because Shazam, you have to back him on this one, though. Not hitting the shots. There we go. Gets the third one. Third time lucky. And Misfits, they secure 10 on the T side. So an excellent first half from them here on Mirage. OpTic is maybe the music that they should be listening to here in the break. Get a little bit pumped up for that second half.
They can still do it. It's not sure if you were playing the drums or dancing just then. You were playing the drums.
Doing a bit of both.
Yeah, playing the cymbals, but
this is what happens when we're not on camera. And now I'm going to be looking very, very lovely and composed.
Very professional with the pen. It's the elfish guy pen.
It's actually my my drumstick.
Your drumstick? Oh, there we are.
But there's no drums going on anymore, so that's kind of all ruined. But yeah, look, I think OpTic here right now, they need to be having a bit of a chat here during this halftime pause sort of break little thing, and really saying, okay, guys, we need to get the 2-0 tonight because we need to be higher up on the standings. Like, we're at 7th at the moment, and that's not where we should be. As that caliber of team, 7th position is not good enough. And so they want the 2-0 tonight. Misfits, though, they really, really want to be able to take at least one map here and say we've been able to get one off OpTic and continue to plug away at that middle of the pack.
The worrying signs for me is going to be where Twist as well as Sick are going to be playing. Twist and Sick didn't really have the best T half. It was really, once again, Shazam and Relics just having a dominating half. Relics is just able to get so many multi-kill rounds, able to clutch out so many rounds as well. It was really up to, I guess, him to build the foundation of the good work alongside with Shazam that allowed Misfits to now carry a 10-5 lead into the half.
Yeah, and there's a lot of questions to be asked, really, of OpTic. How they're going to go about this T side. Mixwell, I mean, he was looking pretty decent with the AWP, but not quite.
He was very cold on the CT side.
Not up to scratch with Shazam, that's for sure. And so is he going to be able to take that and maybe challenge him on the T side, or is Shazam just going to completely shut down this CT side?
Mixwell needs to channel some of his Cobble magic. We saw Cobble, it just felt like he was able to jump out and take all the angles. But this time around, well, he's on the T side, so he's got a little bit more flexibility to play with. But he was so stagnant. He was very much like a turret. They just deployed him, and he got smoked off. There was nothing he could do. Tried rotating around and better shots. Misfits playing very aggressive towards mid, and Tarek, well, he takes one, but can't take the second on towards Sick. Yep, Rush able to open up the B side, but Sean with a P2K, 2 quick kills. Oh, nearly had the third on towards Jason but Sick's now able to rotate across from short as well. And OpTic, it looked good at the start. Now it's very equal on both sides.
Yeah, this is dangerous now for OpTic. If they do drop this pistol round, it's really going to balloon out, actually, for Misfits. And Misfits have got a great situation to defend this B site. They do drop Sean, and actually Sick goes down as well. I was going to say, if they did drop Sick, that was basically going to be round over for them now. Twist has to clutch this out. Admittedly, 2 very low HP targets, so body shots are going to be enough. But still, 1 versus 3, it's always tough in a pistol round.
I'm not sure if there's a kit. Sean might have had a kit. There it is. It's right there out in the open. And Jason just spotting the line. Probably has called it. And Naf will be able to find the off timing. That Twist looks away. And that is a critical round for OpTic Gaming. Because picking up the pistol, if they can pick up the 2 anti-ecos, that's going to start the campaign back to the comeback a lot easier.
Back to the comeback, huh? All right, well, they have to go about this anti-eco bit better than maybe Misfits did in their own first half of Cobblestone. But it's not a hugely dangerous looking buy, really, from Misfits. I mean, no armor there on Shazam. Obviously, he wants the AWP. Sean with the scout. He needs to open things up here for his team. Not landing that first shot. OpTic getting control of mid very, very easily.
Yeah, but even if you get control of mid, still have to crack open a bomb site. So they're just going to take it on mass, make sure Misfits don't play numbers, and then fall back together and try to attack a bomb site. Look where Relics is, though. He's got armor and a 5-7 at close range. You could completely dome so many of these members. There's one, and there might be 2 as well. He's got it 2, and he's also spotted out the bomb. Misfits can rotate another member over it. Sean now is holding the line, and he misses the shot. A bit slow in the reaction, but it will force OpTic back. So now 4-on-3. Still, that's exactly how you drop the ball.
At least there's enough time right now for Misfits to work with. They can rotate back over to the A bomb site. They still have control of mid, so probably will be an A split here with Rush coming up through the connector, and he could be the key player right now. If he can maybe take down Sick, then there's definitely an opening here for OpTic. But Twist as well, playing by the firebox. There is a Molotov at least on Naf and Mixwell, actually, so they can get him out of that position fairly easily. I think that this is maybe not going to be the worst of situations for OpTic, but they need to make sure that they don't lose a couple of players to these CZs.
And Shazam's pushing for information. As soon as these Molotovs pop, they can start rotating Sean back towards the A side. And Sick just dancing around. He will be under pressure now. If he can get a kill, no, won't be able to. But Naf has not checked the line, and Twist just triggered discipline. Does get the dink down. Sean, unfortunately, has not hit a shot with a scout, so it's now down to Shazam.
It's so doable for Shazam. He's got a UMP. Mixwell's very low. Rush is fairly low as well. The only problem here for Shazam right now is that he doesn't have any armor to work with. He has no utilities to work with either. If he had a grenade, if he had a Molotov, he might have been able to get Shazam, or he might have been able to get Mixwell, sorry, out of that position. But not the case. Still, some decent damage done by Misfits, but not enough. They really would have wanted more, and that was definitely a winnable round for them.
Solid round coming out from Rush as well as Mixwell. So low, but just biding, trying to finding the timing, able to trade favorably in their situation, and well, should be making it 8-10 unless they severely drop the ball. It is going to be an A stack, and Naf is going to find out if he charges out. He's going to find out the very hard way, but he's going to crawl out slowly, actually. He's going to walk out slowly, and he's going to take one, takes out two, but there's just too many members. Does manage to get another dink, and he has the support from... No, he actually doesn't die as well. Has the support from Tarek and Jason R to finish the round. Very quick anti-eco in that round, and now Misfits, this is their bye.
It is their bye, and this is where things need to turn around. Uh-oh. We've had a bit of a collapse. Kras dead.
I died.
Are you back? Are we back?
I'm back. Nearly fell off the chair.
Oh, that would have been interesting. It's a shame it wasn't on camera.
It would have been a comedy act for sure.
Oh, Shazam starting off nicely. Mixwell does go down. And that's exactly what Misfits need to start off this round. They need to get this round, because if they allow OpTic Gaming back into it, well, then OpTic Gaming is going to take that chance. But Misfits, just to grind out these rounds, it's not going to be hugely easy for them. OpTic definitely a strong opponent, but Misfits on the CT side, coming into it with a round advantage. They should be able to win it out from here.
Yeah, so OpTic tried placing very, very early mid-aggression without the smoke blooming, and Shazam taking full opportunity will be able to get the kill. He's tagged down, but is still alive, which is the critical, or the most important matter. And now OpTic stacking back up to the B site. They've relinquished the mid-control, and they don't have any A main pressure. So Misfits, this just allows them to keep spotting for information, even with limited utility. Only a single flashbang on Sick as the true grenade. There's a decoy, but... Nav, what a shot towards Relics, who was spotting for information. This allows OpTic to bust straight out. Sean, a lot of work to do. Dancing around the side. He might be able to get a second one. Won't be able to. Jason R does get the trade. So 3-on-3, lots of utility for OpTic to use, but they're not using it. And this is going to be punished by Sick.
Yeah, the bomb going down very, very late now for OpTic. The rotation has already come across for Misfits. It's 3 versus 2 on the retake, and not too many utilities here for Misfits, but the aim has been looking relatively decent for them now. Sick, though, does get absolutely wrecked by Rush at a long range. So now 2, they line up for him as well. He gets the first, but not quite the second. But he does enough damage to Twist to make this look very, very easy now for OpTic. They do close it out. Rush getting 3 in that round. Great stuff for him holding off that retake. And again, Misfits are dropping 1. So OpTic, oh, they're coming back into it.
That was really on the back of the opening pick, and they had 2 MAC-10s. That's the important part to note. They had 2 MAC-10s, and they were still able to convert it to a round victory, even after losing the first member. So this is where I start talking about Misfits. Sure, if Relics is performing, as soon as he just got absolutely domed.
Yeah.
That was a 1 in 100 shot from Naf, 100%, and he landed it. And that gives OpTic now a lot of space to work with, because the momentum back in their favor should be able to tie this up, barring a huge play coming out from the pistols. And, well, from here on in, the map is now wide open.
Yeah, well, can't be expecting too much from Misfits in this round. Obviously, the gun's going to be majorly in the advantage of OpTic at this point. Relics, nice close angle though. Might be able to take down Naf, and he actually does, which will secure him an AK. There's no one to trade that out, so not too bad actually for Misfits, and we'll see what Relics can do with that AK. But one has to think that it's going to be maybe a little bit too much for him here, though. Starting off nicely, does take down Rush. Now he has to take Jason R, but that's not going to happen. Mixwell backing up his buddy. 3 versus 1 now. And Twist's the only one left alive.
Just debating whether he should try to play aggressive, but he's been spotted out by Tarek, who's just tapping away with the MAC-10. And Twist coming across. We'll be able to get the pick on towards Jason R. So Jason R just playing a little bit too aggressive. Will pay with his life. And Twist, if he can take down Tarek, or even take down Mixwell with a well-placed shot, it's not going to happen though. And the score is tied 10 apiece.
10 apiece, and that means Misfits have not been able to pick up a CT round so far. because we came into this one at 10-5. And so it's 5 rounds on the board here for OpTic so far on their own T side. Relic's top fragging for his team, but he needs some backup. I mean, Shazam doing well as well, but no one else really stepping up at the moment for Misfits.
Yeah,
Jace. 10 apiece. I think it's just a little bit gone now, like for Misfits, because they've allowed too much to go to OpTic. And they need to find a way back into this half.
Well, Shazam was trying to play aggressive at short. There is the palace control from Misfits, so they're just going to peek in together and they're going to find no opponents whatsoever. So they're going to call it out to their teammates. They're going to be quite comfortable still holding on to the A site. Sean now going to be backing out of Murder Hole. As soon as the smoke blooms, I think he'll back off. It's not really a position where he can really play safely. And OpTic now slowly crawling towards short, but Shazam missing a very tight shot. We'll back off safely though. OpTic just slowly controlling the map. They're seizing control of B site and placing now relentless pressure on Misfits.
Yep, a lot of control across the map here for OpTic right now. They have decent control in mid, though they've backed off from there. And it does seem as though they like to head towards this B site. So, well, Shazam, he's going to need to step up here.
Oh, they're both posted up. A single Molotov will force them off this position. And it's going to, they're just going to have to just sprint away and try to salvage what they have. Because if they had, say, maybe even the Rifler, well, I was going to say maybe if they had the Rifler, but Shazam's able to get the first pick, they're not going to suspect Relic's to be at the same position, and Relic's can go huge, and he's going to come out, and oh my goodness, he's going to completely whiff it.
The timing was so bad for Relic's there. You have to feel for him. He could have, if he had a peeked a second earlier, might have gotten 2. If he had a peeked a second later, or not even peeked at all, he might have picked up the AWPer. But in the end, OpTic Gaming do make their way into that B side, and Misfits, they have no choice but to back out here. They can't really afford to go for the retake. The money is in just such a poor position right now for them, and to try and retake the B site with a player disadvantage as well, it's really just so difficult to do. And so, OpTic, they're going to be in the lead for what is basically the first time in this map. Might be able to turn this one into a 2-0.
6 should be able to get a few kills. There's one, but instantly traded out, and every single trade's going to be favorable towards OpTic, but they can't lose guns like this. It's going to leave them with a single M4. Can do damage, but
so far when we've seen Misfits saving just a single gun through, it hasn't really been able to do too much. Particularly on the CT side, which is something that we saw a lot on Cobblestone.
And now a lot of money for OpTic's players as well. Well, not too much. A lot of Mixwell. For the others, about 5k. It's enough for buying into the next round. They are going to force behind it. And this is... I don't really like this. They could have gotten a few armor, a couple of armors, couple of pistols, try to do damage instead. Now they're just trying to contend. They're trying to brute force their way towards a victory, and Sick, Tarek is crawling through the smoke, and they may just pass each other.
Oh, I think Tarek knows this now. He's of course heard Sick firing there, and he gets 2.
He gets 2!
He takes Twist down, and so there we go. OpTic straight up into the A bomb site. Easy entries for them. The bomb still by T-Apps, but really not too big of a deal right now because they're just basically controlling the map as much as they need to. The rotation will come across from, I believe Rush is the one that's going to pick the bomb up there. And so the A side is theirs. It's just a matter of time now before they put that bomb down. Mixwell hunting.
Oh, he looks away just at the wrong time, though. So this means that Misfits will be able to get into B-Apps without being challenged. And they will be able to take their weapons forward. But I just don't like these force buys. We saw the same problem come out from Cobblestone where they go, all right, the round that worked was a complete buy. So let's start forcing instead. I can understand the pressure starting to get to them. They still have rounds to work with.
Yeah.
Take a tactical pause. Take a talk about what's going wrong. What do they need to do? Where are the weak points? OpTic are taking mid completely uncontested, and they're able to come up short. Misfits need to figure out some way of stacking their forces to at least take the short control off OpTic. How are they going to reinforce the B side? These are all important questions, because OpTic, so many times, they drop a member down, and they're still able to come back fighting.
Yep. The B-bomb site has really been a bit of a problem for Misfits. I don't know, maybe they can send Shazam a bit further forward, like sort of in this position, right, where Mixwell is playing. If he's got the AWP in his hands, can spot the line a little bit easier. Shazam does get dropped. That's crucial damage coming out from the T's. And only the M4 is going to come through in this round. So, Misfits, they try and save again. And they're only able to take, again, a single gun through. This time, it has to be an eco from Misfits. Like last round, they had all of them around 4K. This time, all of them were just around 3.5K. So just not quite enough to be able to actually buy into it. Pistols and armor coming out on a couple, pistols on the rest. But it's going to be 13 on the board. One would think for OpTic after this round, NAF opening up well onto Twists. And that may be just too much for Misfits to come back from.
And OpTic now starting to come alive, doing damage, and Tarek will spot out and just take down 2 members by himself. You can see Shazam is going to try and crawl through the smoke to retrieve the rifle. Will be able to do so. Also spots out Tarek, but can't find the shots, and now it's OpTic to try to do some damage. We'll be able to drop the bomb in Jason R, but there is another member waiting on balcony, and he goes, well, free kill. And now OpTic 13-10. Surely this has got to be a tactical pulse Misfits.
Don't think so.
Surely.
Would have come out already.
Oh, man. They've just dropped 8 rounds in a row. They need to just settle down and just talk matters over. The double AWP setup does come forward, but how are they going to play it? Would like to see maybe Twist go towards the short area with the AWP. No, Shazam's actually playing quite aggressive towards Palace to try to get the opening pick, as NAF will take down Sean instantly at window.
Yeah, Twist, he looks like he's going out to short. Yeah, so he's over there, but Palace, oh, that could be big for Shazam. He gets the first, backs down. He's got a chance to get a second here, and actually Sick is going to be able to take down Mixwell coming out from A main. I think Jason R peeks into Sick as well and goes down, and this is looking a little bit better now for Misfits. They're just covering each other off a little bit nicer than what they had been, but Rush does take down Sick, and now Shazam is on his own, sort of. But the rotation comes across from Misfits, and, well, that's that. OpTic, they start off this round nicely, but really, apart from that, there's not much to speak about for them. It's all been the way of Misfits. Yeah,
NAF is going to try his best to try to draw attention while rotating all the way back towards mid, but he has to isolate 3 one-on-one deals, 2 of them against AWPs.
Yep.
And he's playing it. He's got time to work with. He may just want to save the AWP.
I think he should go for it, because he's on my fantasy team.
Is on your fantasy team. So you want the points.
I want the points. I think I'm actually doing pretty okay in our little league thing that we've got.
I still can't believe you mixed me up for someone else.
What?
You mixed me up, you're like, is it your turn to veto? And I'm like, I'm not even in it. Like, how do I join?
Some random joined our league. I don't know who it was.
And it wasn't even my alias. You thought it was me.
Well, I didn't know who it was, and you were the only one that was missing.
Do we ever find out who the mystery person in the mystery league was? No. Okay, so
I don't know who it is.
It shall forever be a mystery, I guess.
Strange task. Anyway, thanks, NAF, for a little bit of extra points. But I don't think he's going to be getting too much more out of this round. 10 seconds on the clock. Bombs in the middle of A. He's looking to try and take down a couple of these players.
I see what he's doing. So he's just making sure that they can't take the AWP.
Yep. That's good. That's really nice, actually, from him.
Why? So, if you could take both weapons, why couldn't you pick up both AWPs? It's not like you're going to use them. It's just like you might as well put them in your backpack.
Put them in your backpack. Well, you know, an AWP sticking out of your backpack is probably not going to be the ideal situation either. They don't actually have backpacks.
Yeah, they have
vests.
Bulletproof vests, pockets or pouches to put more bullets in, unless it's the M4 or the USP. Apparently, you don't have enough space for them.
I don't know.
It's true, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, with a P2K, you can hold 4 clips, and all the USP can only hold 2 clips. There are more bullets inside the P2K as well, so
don't
the
ask
clips should
me.
be larger.
These are the mysteries of life. At least the mysteries of life in Counter-Strike.
It is forever a challenge to understand. It is a philosophy and a half as Relics. This is a good Molotov. Should force OpTic back from just an aggressive position to be
damage too. Can't complain about that, but OpTic, it again seems as though they want to sort of hit this B bomb site.
It's been their go-to. Didn't work going towards A. They just go, look, well, it's been working for us. B site, let's go there again. It's only NAF, your man, your hero, on the A bomb site.
My hero.
Looking to get more points.
All right, come on. Here we go. No, he's going to back out. But that's okay. OpTic are going to make their way into the B side. That's a great flashbang. Shazam completely white. He's forced back. Does go down to Tarek. Trade comes out from Relics, but similarly a trade from OpTic Gaming. So overall, 2-for-1 trades on the entry. Very favorable for OpTic. They also get a third there, courtesy of Rush. And Misfits, surely they can't retake this round. 2 versus 4. I think it's too little too late for them here. It should be 14 on the board for OpTic now. And Misfits, they will probably be able to afford a buy in next round. They did win the last.
I don't think so, because they lost. So if they were able to take the double AWP setup, maybe, but they were only able to take a single AWP forward. Had to repurchase 3 rifles.
They have to force next round.
Yes.
It's obviously, it's not going to be a buy-buy, but it's going to be a buy, if you know what I mean.
Will it be enough to take down OpTic? I don't think so.
Probably not.
OpTic dropping that round, it was on the back of a better play coming out from Sick.
Yep.
That was a really good play from Shazam and Sick to combine and be able to hold on to the A side. And Mixwell now coming across. Oh, Sean does escape with his life. And that is...
Twist and Sean,
I think
maybe...
your bank account may look better than the numbers on the CT side.
It actually does, yeah.
Which is telling signs
on
how poor the economy of Misfits really is.
It is bad. And they are going to fully eco it. Okay, so they're going to go for that tiebreaker, the overtime. But it's a big, difficult task here now for Misfits.
Risky decision, but they're trying to put the eggs in the basket with a high percentage.
Yep.
But the basket is quite fragile and still the percentage is not really favourable.
It's a paper mache basket that's been left out in the rain for too long.
It's been left out in Sydney weather for...
Yeah.
Probably you left it out on the day where it was like really warm and it's like, oh, this is drying quite nicely. But you leave it overnight and then...
The cyclone comes.
Yeah.
Ladder basket. All right.
Speaking of ladders, Sean is in ladder room. Maybe he's weaving himself a basket.
I didn't say ladder, I said ladder.
Ladder. Well, we can make it ladder.
Yeah. Smooth transition.
Ladder room.
I had to ruin it.
Why you always do this to me, old fish guys? Well, OpTic looking to completely shut down Misfits on the eco, and Tarek's going to start off quite well, but Twist does manage to get a 1-for-1 trade. Nearly takes out Mixwell. He will be able to back out alive, but his rest of the team is falling around him. And OpTic, a few low members. It's now off to Twist, now on a 1-on-4. But he can't find Mixwell. It's just so unfortunate. It just looks like Twist. He's just locking down the correct line. And as soon as he looks away, OpTic go, oh, hey there, how you going?
Hello. All right, Misfits, even though they do eco out that last round, the buy that they will have in this one, it is going to be leaving a bit to be desired. Sean, he can get a UMP and some utilities. No defuse kit here. Twist had 550, didn't he?
Well, if OpTic do manage to make their way on towards a bomb site, it's effectively over.
Yeah.
And Mixwell just threw the smoke.
Opening it up. It's not looking good for Misfits here. They really did start off quite well, but OpTic have really come on their T side and said, well, it's been a bit how you going, I suppose, for Misfits. It's been a real turnaround from OpTic. It's kind of like Cobblestone all over again.
Yeah, it was just potential on the T side. We saw some positive sign from Misfits, I guess, on the T side, where they're able to get a few kills, start rolling a bit of momentum. It was OpTic's match still all the way. And now coming in towards the T half, after OpTic took the pistol, they won 8 rounds in a row.
Yep.
Finally dropped one buy round on the back of a successful A-side hold. But ever since then, haven't looked anywhere close as OpTic just taking one-on-one aim deals. Misfits now pushing in. They have to push in for information. OpTic know this. They're coming slowly across, and Mixwell just spotting the bottom of A ramp. It's Twist pushing. He's a dead man. Shazam's also going to fall. Misfits one by one, losing the members of the ranks, and still with 40 seconds left on the timer. Well, it's off to Twist. And his position is now identified. 16-11 victory for OpTic Gaming, a 2-0.
OpTic, they don't drop too much there on that T side of their own. Misfits only getting 1 on their CT side, so they would have really been hoping to get a little bit more than that. But OpTic, a fantastic result for them tonight. They did need that 2-0. They've got the 2-0. They've secured it, and now they're going to boost themselves up the standings. Just a little bit, but a little bit is going to be better than nothing.
And similarly, Misfits, a lot of questions now going to be asked on how they're going to change around their playstyle. It's just unfortunate because they had such a good T-side. Relics performed so well. Shazam with the AWP absolutely dominating. And on the CT side, it was just almost, once again, Cobble version 2. They just went wandering and we're just trying to figure out where they went.
Yep. Really got to question what happened there. Coming into the second half, we thought Misfits, they're in a great position to close this one out, but it just wasn't the case. And so 2-0 goes the way of OpTic for that one. We do have one more matchup coming up later on tonight. We're going to go to a quick break, but stay tuned. Cloud9 and CLG will be up soon.